A common excuse that we hear from time to time is the spousal excuse. It may be the excuse that their spouse won't let them pay for it, or their spouse doesn't want them going to the gym. Sometimes this is the case, but sometimes people are using the spousal excuse for their unwillingness to make change. Don't be a coward, don't blame it on your spouse. If it's about you, then let's talk about you. However, if your spouse is really not on board with you wanting to become the best version of yourself, here are some suggestions. First, realize that no healthy relationship works like that. No spouse or partner who cares about their partner is going to deny them the opportunity to become better, to be more healthy, more fit, more happy. That's not the way it works. So my suggestion is this: sit down with your spouse and tell them what's important to you and why it's important to you. Talk to them about where you want to go. Talk about it from an individual standpoint, but also from the relational standpoint or from the family standpoint. Next, we need to have a discussion about resources and how they're aligning with our goals. Are we currently allocating resources that are not helping us go in the direction we're trying to go? And if that's the case, how can we redirect those resources? This requires a discussion. You do have to sit down with your spouse and tell them that you do want to change, why you want to change, and where you're trying to go. And to avoid any conflict of interest, go ahead and come up with a plan about how you are going to redistribute your resources. If you say, my time is currently going here, and now I need to spend an hour a day going to the gym, you need to go ahead and tell your spouse how you're going to adjust to make that happen. You also need to have a plan for how you're going to redistribute your financial resources. Go ahead and have a plan that says, I'm going to sacrifice the money I was spending on this to be able to afford this without it impacting our family resources. Now, the ideal situation is that your spouse gets on board with that. They're motivated by your willingness to change and they want to have an internal change themselves. But that might not be the case. So you need to be prepared either way. And here's some tips. First, you need to lead by example. You don't need to be calling them out. You are not their guide. You are not their coach. You are their spouse. Lead by example and be kind to them in your words. You need to be prepared to adjust for the changes coming up. These are things that your spouse is not aware of. If you guys always go have Mexican food on Friday nights, you need to have a plan that's going to allow you to still do the things that you love to do while helping you reach your goals. Maybe you still go out to eat Mexican, but you make nutritional choices that align with your goals without denying your spouse the opportunity to continue the tradition. If your spouse pushes back, reaffirm your goals and your values without accusation. Again, this is something new for them as well. You and your spouse are a team, but they don't have the right to tell you that you can't improve your life. At some point, you may just have to say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'd appreciate it if you supported me. However, I'm gonna love you either way. A final warning about trying to coach your spouse. Do not do it. You can be their spouse or you can be their coach, but you can't be both. When the time comes to prioritize your relationship or prioritize your goals, which one are you going to choose? The problem is, no matter what you choose, you're gonna be in the wrong. Something's going to fail. That's why it's better to have a coach. Someone who doesn't have to worry about the relationship and is fully focused on helping you reach your goals. The final thing to consider about working with your spouse is that you're not paying for it. You don't have any skin in the game. And why are you really doing it? Are you doing it because it's cheaper and you don't have to pay for it? Here's the reality. Taking the easy road never leads to success. Reach out to us at mbsfitness.net.